Welcome to the Fulfilled After 50 podcast. We are your hosts, Alice
and Carol. Join us each week for your fun dose of inspiration and healthy tips you can use every day so you can live the healthy and fulfilled life you desire and deserve. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fulfilled After 50. I am one of your hosts, Carol.
And I am Alice.
And today we're talking about a pretty hot topic. We are talking about how to keep your relationship with your significant other, your spouse, how to keep it sizzling.
And hot and spicy.
That's right, because I'm here with the Spice Girl.
Carol's nicknamed me the Spice Girl because, we do a lot of cooking recipes in our group, and if you're not in our group, you need to be over there at Fulfilled After 50 in our Facebook group. But when I do meal prep on Sundays, it's like I'm always saying, and put this spice in it, and put this spice in it, because when it is hot and spicy, you are burning calories while you're eating. I'm all for that.
You're like a sriracha girl.
That's right.
But the big question is does Ricky call you the Spice Girl?
Well, a funny story that you haven't heard before is early on in our marriage is Ricky is a builder, so we had these incentive trips. They would send us to like New Orleans and on cruises and to Maui, and I know, right? I don't know where that all went, but that's gone by the wayside. But it was so nice because as soon as we got to the hotel, you know how you go up to your hotel room and you start unpacking, and I would go to the ladies' room, and when I would come out, spread out on the bed was a new negligee.
Go, Ricky.
I know, right? It was so exciting. I'm like, okay, wow. It's been about 15 years. When's that next one coming?
Right. I wasn't sure where she was going with that. I thought maybe she was going to come out to some toy or something, or who knows. Negligee is awesome. Go, Ricky.
A little hotel room, little rendezvous always spices things up. You're out of your normal surroundings of your house.
Right.
Makes it a little bit more spicy.
That's right. See, I still have children at home. I hope they're not listening. So sometimes it's a little bit more difficult for us, whereas you're empty nested. But still, something about being out of your own environment makes things a little bit spicier.
That's exactly right. So we're just going to give you a couple things like we have learned to do, because you guys have been married for how long?
26, almost 27 years in a few more months.
And every time we are around her and Tom, they are so in love, so happy. I'm like, so how do you do that?
Well, funny you should ask that.
Yes.
No, I think a lot of it is just taking a deep breath and pausing from everyday life.
Yes.
And remembering that this is your partner and this is the person that you married and that you love.
Right.
And I think one of the complaints from a lot of men are that the woman never initiates anything.
Yeah, that's so true. I've never even thought about that till you said that, but that is so true.
Mm-hmm, right.
Yes. Why don't you initiate something? Why do I have to?
Yeah, I think the big thing out there is that, the men always want something, but it's I think sometimes they get jazzed up, not sometimes, always they get jazzed up. If you take the time to initiate it rather than, when we're younger and we have a lot of energy now. When we're younger, sometimes you're just pulled in so many directions that by the time you go to bed, you're
exhausted.
I'm so exhausted.
Yes.
I can't think of anything else. But
yes.
Now, sometimes it's kind of one of the cool things of this season in our life is that you may have some extra time to kind of spice things up yourself.
That's right. Sometimes in the season of life, because most of us are in our midlife now and in our 50s and over, and we think, well, it might be a scary time because we haven't been one-on-one with our spouses in a long time. So how do we reconnect, and how do we keep that going? What are we going to talk about? Because we had never had to talk one-on-one, right. And are we going to survive? So,
or are they going to get on our nerves?
Exactly.
Really, you got to figure it out.
So I think one of the number one things is try something new together. Take a risk and explore it together. Go somewhere new together. It's Ricky.
You're
always
really good at this.
Yeah, Ricky always I like doing firsts together. Meaning, Like, I'm not going to go there.
Well.
Like a couple weeks ago, we had a little break and we just wanted to hop in the car and we just took a ride along the coast, went to Ocracoke and Charleston, Savannah, and it was so fun to just connect in that car together. It's like, when we say, well, our kids are always in their phone all the time and we never can get any discussion with them. Well, if you want to talk to somebody, put them in the car.
That's right.
They can't go anywhere.
So true. That's so true. Yes, I love that. And you guys are really good about being spontaneous.
Yeah, so, but sometimes it's just being simple, and sometimes it might be just like packing a lunch and go to the park. We actually used to do that really early on too. My husband would surprise me at work at lunchtime with a packed lunch, and literally we would just go around the corner to a park. We had an hour. That was almost one of the best times in our marriage. It's like he showed up at work, surprised me with a packed lunch, and we just went to the park. Even if it was just for 45 minutes, guys, that's a turn on.
That's right. Absolutely. It's almost as much of a turn on as them emptying the dishwasher.
Yes.
Folding the clothes and putting them away.
Yes.
But a little bit more. A little bit
Yeah.
more, maybe.
And then another thing is it can be just as simple as like, now if we are both at home in the mornings, that little quiet time, I don't have kids that have to be up at 6 a.m. I'm down there fixing their lunch, breakfast or whatever. It's just him and I, and we can just sit maybe for 15 minutes having a cup of coffee together. But Carol and Tom do something different.
We do, because in the morning he's out the door by 5:45, and I'm usually getting my workout, my morning routine done. So we savor the day at the end of the day. And so we particularly love this during the spring and summer. We'll sit out on our back deck and we'll just have a glass of wine or just something, it could be tea or it could just be water or some beverage. And we'll sit out there and we'll just savor the day and we'll talk about what happened today, what's going on tomorrow, what's going on with the kids, anything going on with our parents. And it's just a time to kind of relax and reconnect.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
kind of like, yes.
I
And
love
sometimes
that
we're just
too.
sitting out there, I'll be like, what bird is making that? Because he knows. He's like, if I ever am on a show where I need to know trivia or anything, and he's going to be my emergency call. But he knows
your lifeline.
everything
huh?
like that. He's my lifeline.
Ah,
I don't know how it
yes.
is that they know all this stuff. But anyhow, we just kind of savor the day.
I love that. And then another thing is like this weekend we have like a little bonfire like in our backyard. It's just like some stones that are there, and we will just sit there and light a fire and just sit there and talk. There's something about really like a bonfire that's sort of mesmerizing
Yeah,
too.
it's that glass stuff, isn't it? Is it yours is glass? I think when I was around, it's got the in there instead of
Oh,
coals,
that's
it's
not
like,
okay. But this was a real like firewood like we had
like
to burn
the
a
Boy
lot
Scout
of trash.
had to like get that together there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this was like the real deal.
But they
like
also
up
have
to
this one with glass. It's just so romantic. I've sat around it. Well, it wasn't too romantic because I was there, but
That's called our lazy fire, where you
Yeah.
just flip the switch and it comes on. But
it's
this
so
was
pretty.
this
and
is
you can get those for pretty inexpensive now.
you can. Yes.
I think Costco has them for like $180 or $160 or something like that.
it's Father's Day coming up soon, so
That's
it
right.
might be a good gift.
We have a hole in the ground in our backyard
that serves a purpose.
that we will build a fire and hang out there. Actually, the kids love it. It's like our little bonfire. When they were young, we would put a tent up and we would camp in our backyard.
Oh gosh.
Till my hips would hurt.
So fun.
I'd volunteer to go inside in the middle of the night when the kids were scared.
Oh my
So
god.
anyhow, so we are on. We've done a number
Number
of different.
5 is you can like cook a fancy dinner together. So if you really don't want to go out, you want to try to save some money, pretend like you're going to your own kitchen and cook together, guys. That is sexy too. It's like in the kitchen together, maybe dress up and just have that bottle of wine, cooking a nice like Italian dinner together.
Right, some good music playing.
Yes.
Just go into Pandora and pick up one of those stations. There's this little jazz one I really like. There's a violinist guitarist one that's super cool.
Oh,
Sets the mood in
see.
Pandora.
Do y'all cook together?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, he's my griller. So a lot of times when we're cooking at home, he'll be
Oh,
grilling. I
see?
do that, like the salad and the
Yeah.
vegetable side.
Same thing. That's, and then you still savor the day. You're sort
Yeah.
of doing both things. Then number 6 that we are on is, I do this a lot, believe it or not, and sometimes it is more so when we have had like an argument, but think of it in reverse, is writing your spouse a love letter. And actually, I did this only like a couple weeks ago too. I used to write him letters every single week and leave them in his truck or leave them on his computer somewhere, or if I left earlier, they'd be down there. But
Lipstick on his mirror.
Sometimes all of us, whether it's you're a guy or a woman, sometimes we can go feeling unappreciated. And sometimes just a letter of appreciation, I love you, thank you for being my husband or my partner, and just being here, raising our kids, just that does so much for them sometimes, as it would do for us.
Right. And you can do the letters awesome. You can also send a quick little text. Tell them how cute they look that morning. How great their Heiny looks in the pants that they left, if they're whatever it is. Not too risque, obviously, but you can send something and just tease them, like say, hey, we've got something special planned for tonight. Create that anticipation.
Even if they don't respond, they saw it.
Yeah.
So.
And they might just get home a little earlier that night. I don't know. Could happen.
So the last thing is, guys, we just don't want you to stress about it. Let it come natural. And you know what? Always think the positive thoughts. But the best thing, like Carol and I always want to leave you with, is always be grateful for what you have surrounding yourself.
That's right.
And then that just brings it all together. It's just, when we have our positive thoughts, when we're grateful for everything that we have, then everything else falls into place.
Right.
And sometimes it's like what you just said. You just sit back, take a breath.
Yeah, it kind of changes your whole perspective.
Yes.
And it also, I think, when you're positive and you have a positive attitude, it brings positive things to you. I think you think positively and more positive things occur.
Exactly.
That may sound a little woo-woo out there, but I think it's really true.
It is. Yep. What
It's
you
been
put
true for
out
me
comes
anyhow.
back.
That's right. So those are just a few 7 tips for how to keep it sort of sizzling. And I think actually every one of them works, at least in my experience.
Just pick one of them and just try it and see what happens. Even if you've had like a day that we all have, maybe when you pull in your garage, you just sit there for a few minutes, just release it, let it go, and go into the house with just a good positive attitude and being happy, and seeing that come from you actually makes a change. I know, like when Joshua was at home, he is now almost my 24-year-old. He'll be 24 next month. But if I was like in a bad mood and just not really having a good day, honestly, when he peeked his head around the kitchen, he could tell on my whole face how my day was. He would be like, "Oh, Mom," and he would just be kissing and loving it. Like instantly, guys, it will change your whole demeanor.
Right. Yeah. And if you have been frustrated because your spouse, your husband, or whatnot hasn't been showing you some of that attention that he used to, rather than staying all grumpy about it, what happens is when you start to reverse that and you start sharing that back to him, and you start acting the way to him that you would like him to act towards you, it actually ends up sort of putting a little seed in there.
So true.
And it helps them just like kind of pause for a moment and go, oh my gosh, I forgot how nice that feels.
Yeah.
I bet she'd enjoy that too.
So true. Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head right there. That is just, I've experienced that in my own life. So yes.
So everybody commit today to do something really cool for your significant other or spouse.
Yes, and please post it below, because we would love to see what you have done to just spark.
Yep.
Put a little
Gotta
spark
keep it a
in
little
there.
clean here, but share with us your sizzle. What is it you're doing? If you're not a regular subscriber to our podcast, why the heck not?
Exactly.
You need to subscribe. We're on Stitcher, iTunes. We also have videos out on YouTube. And we have a free Facebook group, Fulfilled After 55. If you search that in Facebook, You can join. We're in there every single day doing some really cool lives with helpful information and a great community of the most supportive women I have ever seen.
Exactly. So if you're not in there, you need to get over there now.
Yeah.
For some
If you've not been to
inspiration.
one of our retreats, why the heck not? It's your weekend for you. We have so much fun.
Exactly. Yes. So we look forward to seeing you next week on a new podcast. Have a great day, guys.
Take care.